Hello and welcome to News Centre. I'm Parikshit Luthra. Days after Operation Sindoor, the Indian government is beefing up its arsenal. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has approved the execution model for the advanced medium combat aircraft. The Aeronautical Development Agency will lead the project in collaboration with the private sector. The Defence Ministry has said that participants can submit bids individually or through joint ventures. The AMCA project is India's only fifth-generation fighter jet program. That's not all. The government also plans to procure 500 anti-tank guided missiles worth up to 3,000 crore rupees from Bharat Dynamics. The acquisition will equip the defence sector's T-90 tanks with advanced missile systems. The Defence Acquisition Council has cleared proposals to acquire weapons worth 54,000 crore rupees in March this year in an attempt to increase the combat potential. But let's focus on the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft program. Last year, the cabinet had approved this program for a fifth-generation fighter development. And joining us now to talk about this execution model is former Defence Secretary Mohan Kumar and also former Vice Chief of the Indian Air Force, Air Marshal Anil Khosla. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Air Marshal Khosla, if I can begin with you. Last year, the cabinet had approved a plan to build a fifth-generation fighter. This was a 2035 roadmap that we had approved. How does this execution model that has now been approved, which will also involve the private sector, foreign participation is also allowed, how will this give an impetus to our efforts to build a fifth-generation fighter?
Yeah, Parikshit, very valid question, and AMCA is very, very essential for our Indian Air Force and Defence Forces. And if you see the world powers, we are lagging a bit as far as the generation of aircraft and the technology of aviation fighter aircraft and other aircraft is concerned. And this step will definitely give a boost and impetus to the whole project. It's a fundamental rule that if something is not working, you need to give a catalyst, you need to give a boost, and that boost has to come from outside. And in this case, it will, foster more inclusive growth and bring efficiency in our development framework. So private industries, whether they come independently or joint venture or through consortium, it will really pull in resources of the private sector along with the public sector, and a larger pool of resources as well as skill will be induced into the whole ecosystem. And, the expertise, innovation, resource optimization, all this will, give a boost to the project. It will streamline manufacturing processes. It will improve the delivery timelines in case we have a parallel parallel production lines in private as well as the public sector. And, and it's also merit-based approach. So it will be competitive in nature. So obviously everyone will have to pull their weight and, put in their best. So I feel that this is a good step and it will give a real boost to the whole ecosystem and the production timeline as well.
Right. Mr. Mohan Kumar, to get you in at this stage, what is the current progress that India has made with its AMCA program so far? Where are we? And is there an urgent need to prepone timelines? We were looking at a 2035 roadmap. It could take about 10 years to develop such an aircraft, induct it into the Air Force. Do we have so much of time looking at the current geopolitical challenges?
Good evening, Parikshit. Thank you for having me on the program. Yeah, your question is very valid, because this program has been hanging fire for a long time. My feeling is that the delay has already been to the extent of, say, maybe more than a decade or even more than that, because it was actively considered a decade ago and still it is in the conceptual stage. And so we need to move fast because you look at the threat perceptions in the subcontinent. China has already developed the J-20, J-35, and then another one is in the advanced stages of prototype production. And China means automatically it goes to Pakistan, and probably it has already gone. And so it's imperative that India speeds up and accelerates the production of the advanced medium combat aircraft. As quickly as possible so that we can outstrength this matched. Otherwise, it is going to give not going to have a level playing field. When it comes to using an advanced fifth generation aircraft. So the timelines are now, it's going to take 10 years from what I have read in the news. It's going to take nearly 10 years. It's not till 2035 that we are going to see the real manufacture of this aircraft. So I do not know what kind of possibility there is for accelerating the production of this aircraft, because there are so many constraints. The design stage, for instance, there is a design which has been displayed by AMCA. This was displayed at the Aero India, the last Aero India. I do not know at what stage the design is pending, because you have got an external design that is already there, which has been shown. But there are a lot of other things which goes into design. Because you have to involve the private sector partners, they have to get the specifications. So it involves complex design processes. I don't know how much time the ADA is going to take to finalize all those design details. So that is a very critical point. Then after that, the private sector comes in. So there's of course there's a little hope that they will live up to the expectation. But then,
okay, Mr. Mohan Kumar, I'm going to come back to you. You raised a very important point that yes, an external design is ready. It was showcased at Aero India, but I think the engine will be very, very critical. How fast can we either develop an engine on our own or get it from a foreign player? Air Marshal Khosla, if I can get you in at this point, we're looking at a situation where there are reports that China may speed up or expedite deliveries of J-35s, stealth fighters, fifth-generation fighters to Pakistan. China has already developed a J-36 or a sixth-generation fighter, which is in advanced stages of testing as well. What are the options for India to develop and meet its own targets of having a fifth-generation fighter as soon as possible? What are the options on how to speed up the process?
Yeah, Parikshit, you rightly brought out, China has already flown sixth-generation prototypes, two of them, as the news reported about a couple of months back. And obviously, they are producing the fifth-generation aircraft at a very rapid rate. Already news is about 200, 300 aircraft. And after this Op Sindoor, if you saw the news, China has said that they may supply Pakistan on a fast track by August this year. The fifth-generation aircraft and at a subsidized rate. Now, how far that is true and how far it will fructify, we'll have to see. But you have to prepare for the worst-case scenario. So, Pakistan having a Chinese fifth-generation aircraft and the China flying fifth-generation and sixth-generation aircraft, our situation becomes very critical, and we need to, by whatever means, we need to accelerate our production and our capability development. Ultimately, Atmanirbharta, self-reliance is the ultimate solution. But we should keep in mind the minimum deterrence value. That is, our capability should not go down so that, the deterrence doesn't work. So for that, in case we cannot meet our domestic production, then we need to acquire outside. So in this case, the 114 aircraft, which the Air Force has been, the MRFA aircraft project, which has been languishing, I think a situation will come, then maybe we'll have to procure from outside while supporting Atmanirbharta fully and implementing all the possible options and every possible means to accelerate that.
Marshal Khosla, looking at the current options that are there available globally with our allies, who do you think would possibly be the best for India to partner on such a program to deliver such fighters, either through a joint venture or through acquisitions as soon as possible?
Yeah, so it's not an easy question to answer. Obviously the choices are only three. That is, China is out. China is one of the producers. That leaves USA and Russia. Russia, we have already gone out of the joint venture which we initiated earlier for 257, and we came out of that project due to various reasons. And going back to, I don't know what will be the cost benefit analysis now. And American aircraft also has got its developmental issues, plus timelines also, I'm not sure because 20 odd countries are flying, and their preference will be to give to NATO, EU, or the partners first before giving it to India. And then there's a cost factor, technology of transfer, the effect on our indigenous project. So, in my mind, this question is not easy to answer. The answer lies in whatever means we need to spend money and get this capability, and whatever deal comes out best. That means a transfer of technology comes in, and also it does not affect our indigenous program while being cost effective. I think that is the way we need to go. There's no clear cut answer.
All right, my final question to Mr. Mohan Kumar. Mr. Mohan Kumar, at a government level, how much do we need to increase our spending? How much do we need to expedite procedures to make sure that our aspirations, our needs for fifth generation fighters are met in the shortest possible period?
Well, I think now the ball is in the court of ADE and its mechanism. How they are going to produce, because it has been given to them, and the model of production has also been approved by the government. So it's now up to ADE to develop whatever is it. Then it's only up to government to give financial support whenever possible, whenever it's required, without any delay. And usually, these financial support also sometimes take delay, sometimes gets delayed because of questions and counter questions and all those things. But we have to have a streamlined process of, monitoring is very closely, because I think there should be a very aggressive monitoring of this program from the government side. With the services and other agencies, involved in it, coming together and monitoring it on a periodic basis. And that's the only way we can take this forward and accelerate this program. The other issues are, the one point which I really wanted to make is the manufacturer of this aircraft also there. One of